चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना,
कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ बोलना।
कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना, कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ हम बोले ओ ढोलना।
कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना, कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ हम बोले ओ ढोलना।
मर जाना था ये भेद नहीं था खोलना, ओ ढोलना। कब तक चुप बैठे अब तो कुछ है बोलना,
कुछ तुम बोले ओ ढोलना।
दो चार कदम पे तुम थे, दो चार कदम पे हम थे।
दो चार कदम ये लेकिन 100 मीलों से क्या कम थे।
फिर उस पे कदम कदम पे दिल का डोलना, हाय डोलना। अब तो कुछ ना, कुछ तुम बोलो कुछ हम बोले ओ ढोलना।
Time has come. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and
Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Aruna Bansi. Good afternoon. Investigations continue into Tobago murder. UN candidates. Pastor's son charged with armed robbery. Tobago police today confirmed that investigations of processman whose body was found in a makeshift grave and covered with concrete. A senior police officer said that investigations are at a sensitive stage. 64-year-old Kunjbihari Jayashree of Karanaj has been reported missing several days before his body was uncovered at the back of an unfinished church at Old Midford Road, Lowlands in the Sister Isle. Dug up after homicide police, acting on information, found the 8 feet deep grave, relative as a mafia-style killing. Police are continuing to probe the murders of 2 men at Enterprise Chaguanas yesterday, following what has been still gone sour. During the melee, 2 men were kidnapped and thrown into a vehicle. 2 men escaped being kidnapped, notified the police. The kidnappers called and made demands, following which several police branches led a massive operation. The police went to the reported drop-off zone for the ransom. There was a confrontation, during which gunshots were fired. 2 men were hit. They were taken to the Chaguanas District Health Facility, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. The kidnapped victims suffered chop wounds and were warded in a stable condition at the hospital. The son of a pastor from Central Trinidad is on bail after being arrested for armed robbery. Kydon Patrick of Balmain, Couva, pleaded not guilty and was granted bail during a virtual hearing before magistrate was arrested after allegedly robbing a garden store at Couva of $1,000. He is due to reappear in the court on July 25th. The United National Congress is expected over the next few days to announce more candidates for the upcoming general election. A candidate for the marginal La Hokata Talparo constituency is likely to be said. Sources said also that all 39 candidates have been confirmed by the screening committee. The UNC is not contesting the 2 seats of Tobago. The ruling People's National Movement has finalized its slate of 41 candidates. Saharan dust levels have decreased slightly, weather forecasters have said, but the Met Office is advising sensitive and affected people to still. The weather experts say the current decrease is due to higher moisture content. This was news to 3 p.m. on U97.5, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for Politics 2020 with Mr. Ken Ali and Ann Duki. I am Aruna Bansi. Good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal B, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds. 2 kg and retail prices. Contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia. For all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps. Plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Back Center, Current Village, San Fernando. Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced wholesale and retail. We are even on public holidays for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Grand Diamond Hotel invites you to dine in our newest and exquisite grand opening Chai Thai restaurant situated at LP 12 Golden Grove Road, Piaku. Come and enjoy our authentic Thai and Indian cuisine, and our outdoor terrace can offer you our indoor and outdoor patio and rooftop restaurant dining. All meats halal. For reservations, call 331-5013-320-1093. Our email address chaithai19@gmail.com. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Takeaway and delivery services are available 11 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. Secured parking and excellent services.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gales, from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
309 in Trinidad and Tobago and the Eastern Caribbean, Thursday, the 25th day of June 2020. Thank you very much for staying with us. A new 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. We hope you're having a wonderful day. And Duki, yours truly, Ken Ali, with our colleague also, Shiva Parasram. And we go until just before 6 p.m. We thank our colleague Aruna for the 3 p.m. newscast. She's going to be back at 4 p.m. for major news bulletin. Now it's time to talk news and current affairs until in terms of news and current affairs and also in other entertainment. Thank you. A lot of things are happening here as you're hearing, and we'll continue to discuss that with you as we go on. Today, more activities in Trinidad and Tobago. The Point Lisas, we're hearing about further planned shutdowns in Point Lisas, further crimes taking place, the politics shaping up. We understand that there may be announcements quite soon from the UNC, as we're hearing in the newscast, and so on and so forth. A lot of concerns about the government spending and not accounting to the of this general election, when there is also a lot of government spending in terms of its campaigning. And I'm raising this point virtually every day, that there is what we call a commingling really of the government state funds into PNM campaigning, and some of it, for example, in social welfare benefits and so on. I'm quite surprised and a little bit disappointed that the UNC has not made a fuss over this. This is the sort of thing that, as I said yesterday, that an attorney like Ramnali and provided some evidence, and there's a lot of available evidence. Now, on the basis of that, it would have created a major response from the lenders who give lend Trinidad and Tobago funding, like the IADB and so on, who would have been very concerned about the use of the money that has been lent to Trinidad and Tobago for specific projects. And on the basis of that, I remain, as I said, disappointed, and that the matter has not been ventilated sufficiently. I feel it is something. I know the opposition has said a bit on it. Much more needs. Government has a lot of money on the eve of this general election, and the spending, there is not proper accountability. The ministers are saying in Parliament that is properly accounted for. That doesn't mean anything. It's similar to a guilty man saying in court that he is innocent. We have to have proper accountability, and I'm not sure that is happening, and I'm not sure that there's any agency that is picking that up. There used to be something called Transparency International, and then there are several other agencies and so on, the trade unions not talking about it, and business and the church. But in particular, the opposition, which stands to lose itself well, in that if the government continues to spend this money and use it for their own campaigning and making it out. And I'm ringing a bell on this issue and to say that I think really the opposition should be much more aggressive on that. So that's one of the issues we're talking about. We're talking about the surge in COVID-19 and so on. Anne has been reminding us about this matter with the Sahara dust, and it's a little bit better today because of the weather.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because of the weather. They say it's a bit damp,
and that
so
is
it has
suppressing
cooled
it
down.
A
bit. Yeah,
over the next few hours.
Over the
tonight.
next few hours, right. So be very cautious. All of those who have respiratory problems and so on, be very, very cautious. Do all that you can. And if you can, the best thing I imagine is to stay out of the environment, because it is there, just a bit suppressed. We've been looking at some pictures of it. It really is throwing a big, big, big damper over Trinidad and Tobago. So those are among the issues we want to share with you today. We are going to talk about some of the government spending. We're going to talk about the bond of $500 million US. We're going to talk about that in this very...
10 million?
Yes, right.
A hotel that have not welcomed any guests.
And look at the state of the tourism sector there, and they continue to pour money after money in Tobago. No accountability. The Auditor General talking about it, and there are all kinds of issues, all kinds of scandals going back to a long time. For example, matters like the Ringbank scandal and so on. A lot of scandal and no accountability. And we've been saying here repeatedly, it appears that it is a government all onto itself. So our concerns about that, and again we ask that the opposition, which is an opposition of Trinidad and Tobago, should make some noise about that. Now, the debate on the 4.7 billion is due to begin tomorrow. So we expect Watson Duke, who is the minority leader, to make some fuss on that. And we look forward very much to that. All of this is taxpayers' money. All of this is taxpayers' money. We want to get this very clear. There must be accountability, and that's why we're calling out the authorities on Tobago, on the heavy spending here, in the billions with the B in Trinidad and Tobago. So all of that we are calling out. There are other issues relevant to that we'll talk about today also. But we remind you, we're at 636-7547, 227-5739 on this Thursday afternoon, 20 June 2020. We urge you to join our conversation 13 minutes after the hour of 3 p.m. Better than it was yesterday, but it says that there's some noise in previous days. So of some governments to engage into authoritarian rule in which they procurement regulations and so on in their spending. I'll develop that point and quote from the report in a little while, but let's begin to talk to our listeners. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ariel.
Good afternoon.
Well, in fact, the response started today, I think, Mr. Farley Richard, what's his name? Farley Augustine or something?
I think, if I have it
Farley
right.
Augustine responded to the Secretary of Finance today.
Right.
What is the latest, Mr. Ali? Because last time I heard that Mr. Granger one by one.
Hey, Mr. Lowenfield, the chair of Mr. Lowenfield to prepare a report that went to the appeal court, now it's going to the CCJ. And while that is happening, Mr. Lowenfield come up with his own report saying 115,787 votes were invalid on his own. So a lot of action taking place. So
and he submitted his report saying that Mr. Granger's party one by one.
Right, but none of that would,
or something like that.
none of that would hold water. What it is doing is frustrating the system and holding back Irfan Ali from getting RTU in power. Now, a promising thing that's happening here is that the Commonwealth has spoken out, the OAS has spoken out. You would have heard Mayor Motley speak out.
Yes,
Europe, around the world, they're speaking out. So
yeah, but they all spoke out about the situation in Venezuela too. You know?
Indeed, and that is as much as they could really do, eh?
Yes.
It's as much as they could do.
So somebody indicated that notwithstanding what Mr. What's the name, Honafield or something?
Lowenfield.
Lowenfield. Notwithstanding what the report he submitted, the commissioner, the lady Ms. Singh.
Yes.
Yeah, the former judge, she has the final say on the results of the election.
Yeah, but you see, I'll tell you something. It is the GCOM itself is made up of people from both major parties. Yeah. So the commissioners from Granger's organization, they're not coming to the meeting, so they can't get a quorum. Listen,
we had to wait and see.
Yeah, but I think justice will prevail at the end of the day. I don't know when that day will be, but eventually it would. Yeah.
All right, okay, Mr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your call. 317 in Trinidad and Tobago and the Eastern Caribbean. We thank you very much. We are on top of the Guyana situation for you. We'll give you some updates. We'll tell you some other things happening in the Caribbean. I was looking at a video report this morning about how Jamaica is handling visitors with respect to the COVID, and they're getting very, very high marks. Good afternoon.
Hi, Mr. Ali. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Ali, I know coming in here.
Uh-huh.
I now come from the bank in Trinity Republic Bank.
How was the experience like?
Outside the bank I'm talking about.
Oh, right.
Right, this pipe and thing where you have to wash your hands. You know, everybody individually picking up the thing, putting the soap on their hand and using the pipe water and make.
Oh, right.
Groceries is the same thing.
Yes, yeah.
I just walk with my own spray, so I say, pardon me, using that, and I spray my hand in front of them.
Yeah, but it's directed to spray your hand that way, but you do it in their presence.
Yes.
Right, yes.
So everybody using the system outside the bank and only groceries. That is 1960s. That can't happen.
But he's digging his heels in and trying to stay as long as he can.
When Trump tell us to pull out today, what's going on? Right? Tell us the American citizen.
Yes.
If Trump order him out today, he had to come out. We're going back there and July for it.
Yes.
So I believe that situation will settle up just now.
I hope so. Oh gosh, she was good.
Well good.
That what I was saying to my colleagues earlier. That is a leader.
That is a leader.
Yeah. Extremely impressed by her.
She don't want to think she kind of help out him, because she a little.
She was very good. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, I saw that interview almost by chance. I came upon it and I really couldn't leave it. She was extraordinarily good. Mia Motley, she is well spoken, she's articulate, she's on top of the issues. She has ideas and vision for the society, and she's a tremendous asset. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali. You know, like yesterday, I don't know why the opposition and especially the leader of the opposition don't wait a lot for help because this government.
You're breaking up, you're becoming garbled. I'm not hearing you well.
The noise is from your end.
It's our end? All right, well, let's try again.
So what I said, I don't understand why the opposition, the official opposition, National Congress, they don't reach out to Mr. Ramesh Maharaj to represent them. But these questions have been asked and not getting answers. Election coming up, you have to show up this government in a past life.
But you know, the UNC has its own attorneys. They have attorneys now. Why they're not challenging this?
And apparently, there is some talk in the air that Prakash Ramana is going to be replaced and seat again, and he's not given the seat again. So, they, you know, if I have to wait and look at. But then again, why this is only now. You're still there for 5 years, and then not. Never come to the point. Are they not in the class?
That is yes.
Well,
That's my view.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, how difficult could that be to write one or two?
Yeah, you have to let the outside world know what your bodies all over the place. Let them know what's going on here.
You know, listen, Ramesh would have written the marriage and the parish, the right to the UN, the Commonwealth, or the European Union, Transparency International, and so on, and raised questions and hold the government to account. They are using taxpayers' money to campaign for the PNM, and nobody is speaking out on it.
This is evidence you have evidence in your hand to fight people.
Yes.
You can't put things together. You can't.
I'm disappointed, I have to tell you that.
Disappointed.
Yeah, thank you. Listen, and well, this hand, once you have circumstantial evidence, you could make an issue over it and let the government be called upon to answer. Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to you, Mr. Ali.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Anne.
Good afternoon.
And I believe that if Ramesh was there.
What happened?
Hello? He got disconnected.
Bang Village is never at a loss for words. So I know it has to be a phone problem. 323, good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Ali,
Yes.
you know, when you're driving, you will get a little duck for some time.
Right, okay.
You know, like, you know.
Go ahead.
You know, if Ramesh was there, Ramesh Maharaj, today, the TNM will be running. Because you know why? You have to explain and tell the people, and this is my party, and I find my party is sitting too quiet. You know, because I remember when Mr. Pandey and Ramesh was there, Ramesh said a strong opposition will bring the government to the knees. You understand? And that's what he proved to the people. And Mr. Manning called an election early. You understand? So today you hear in Solar, you say, listen to me, I could do it. You understand? But I'm the same gentleman who promised people plywood for. You remember? Yeah. That's the same gentleman who promised the people them in this country. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. You know, equally with all of this, the Point Lisa's industrial estate is in reverse mode now. 7 of its plants are now shut down. 40% of the plant is now shut down, and the others are in danger. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anne and listeners. If it is they're calling on the opposition, yes. On the radio, fine. But Mr. Ali, not one of them who just talk on the radio when they have Congress. They will say they will take up a placard, and when the thing starts, they will just put it up for a minute. White belly. You know what they say? We have to go along. But as a parent, if you love your children, you go do the right thing and something. Mr. Ali, you have to hold the bull by the horn and let them know. Remember, Mr. Ali, I would have sure do it. I didn't want a member and go and do it. Not one of them will do it. Mr. Ali, you're gone.
Thank you very much. Okay. 3:25 on this Thursday. We're also talking, yes, about the shutdown of more and more plants, including the largest ammonia producer has now been shut down. Good afternoon.
And Mr. Ali, forgive me because, I drive in, I don't worry, I have a pursuit, so don't worry, you jump in and in between. You understand this, you cannot take taxpayers' money and go and campaign with it. You cannot do that because Mr. Manning, I remember it very clearly, that Mr. Manning tell the people in the East West Corridor, he said, take what you can get from the UNC and then they put them out. You understand? Because the money is not yours. You understand? So today, the people do not understand that.
All right. You went again. Okay. 3:26. We are heading to the 6 p.m. hour with our discussion, so we have a lot more time to talk. Feel free to call us and to give us your take on the issues of the day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. The Honorable Prime Minister Rowley at that conference was basically introducing solar. I thought he would have used the opportunity to tell us when we get in the bulb. That is the energy issue, A light bulb, he tell us nothing about that. But more importantly, the Honorable Mia Motley, she really did a tremendous job. And as I said yesterday, we have another leader similar to her, the same plus. That is the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisasa. And one of the things that I think Granger was hoping to get linked to a clip today of the members of the PPP, who basically is similar to the present government opposition, a mixture of members, not only of one ethnic group but several. And he said one of the strategies that Granger employed is that he locked out all the observers and he basically allowed, and the allegation is that he supposedly thought they were of the same brotherhood. Remember that term? And he was hoping that they would have been sympathetic to his cause. But right is right, corruption is corruption, and I think he got fought with that. That is what the gentleman was saying. He was saying the brotherhood of the CARICOM would have been sympathetic to a particular ethnic race. And it's all over on YouTube, the recent post from the PPP Civic. And that is where it really stands. And we have to remember it is a similar sort of strategy that the present PNM used. The brotherhood of wrongdoers, and we will kill you politically, and everybody in the same thing. And if you have the same sort of skin texture and everything like that, you have a chance together with your party card, and you're good to go. No, there's another thing that is happening. The information of Fuelgate. I hope that they'll lay pointed question in Parliament, because it seems to be more than fishy.
It is, with Ruperti.
Right, I mean to say, that is real planning,
Yes, it's so sinister it is.
They have linked the 700 million and the seventh clause with a Trafalgar, where Ruji had a sign off on and make sure that they are part of it. It tells you, it stinks to the heaven. And we have to get the information, and that could make a government fall, because if these fellas have the information, I am sure the Americans have it, and I don't want to suffer because 6 or 7 people potentially could cause the country to go under. And we must not allow it. We must not allow it, and we must act for the information to see if it was a corrupt deal. How can you buy something at a particular price and sell it at another price? How can you say you want foreign exchange and you're taking the foreign country? That is really, that's a criminal action, because you're closing down. There's a closed down government. All the industries are closing down. Okay, good.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. This matter would point, Lisa, it is a major industrial catastrophe, because about 40% of the plants have shut down. Along with that, the jobs have been lost. Downstream jobs have been lost. Downstream enterprises, so upstream and so on. With Lisa, the upstream operations are shutting down because of the cost of feedstock. Or the primary feedstock, of course, is natural gas, and the implications for jobs and diversification and so on. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali and Mr. P.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Yes. What happened I know Mr. Ramesh Maharaj would be a very great asset to the party. But if you check back, Ms. Bisesa, she discarded all of it. She didn't want Mr. Pandey, she didn't want Mr. Ramesh Maharaj. She obviously set by them, she find the two brides and all of that. The ones who she had in the party, Mr. Warner, brought in the party. So this is where she is now. She never wanted the man, but because people don't hear though. So she might be ashamed of one. She can't call him now because she never wanted them in the beginning. She just started all the good people in the party.
Yeah, now is the time for unity, yeah?
Exactly. And you think the people, we want to go through this 5 years again with this government. You know, strong people in the party. Who she have there now to fight back with her. You understand? Well, we hope something good prevail and something good will happen. No?
Yes, that's right. Yes,
we have to hope for the best.
Indeed, that's right. It's not too late. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, 28 minutes to 4. Let's take a brief break. When we come back, we aim to talk to somebody who also is have been loyal to the party but is not in the front lines at this time, and we want to ask him about some of the economic issues with the country in terms of its borrowings and so on. We take that break and we come back.
Doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all purpose and baker's flour. Low price and convenient 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia. For all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps. Plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barraco, Village, San Fernando. Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Grand Diamond Hotel invites you to dine in our newest and exquisite grand opening Chai Thai restaurant situated at LP 12 Golden Grove Road, Piaku. Come and enjoy our authentic Thai and Indian cuisine, and our outdoor terrace would be available from the 22nd of June. We can offer you our indoor and outdoor patio and rooftop restaurant dining. All meats halal. For reservations, call 331-5013-320-1093. Our email address, chaithai19@gmail.com. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Takeaway and delivery 6 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. Secure parking and excellent services.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Car Park for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, and Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, super quality supermarket and supermarket.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
23 minutes to 4 p.m. on this Thursday, 25th day of June 2020, getting ever so close to the end of June, end of the first half of the year, and closer to the general election. The speculation the general election is going to be held. There is speculation that it could be as early as late August, although most speculations hangs around mid-September, probably the 7th or the 14th. As we said before the break, we're going to talk to a stalwart of the UNC, San Bharat. Good afternoon, Vas.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Anne.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for your time. We wanted to share with you, we wanted to get your expertise on this matter of the $500 million bond that the government has now taken. Washington firm Credit Suisse. And what are the implications of that to us? We talk about the debt trap and so on. Just walk us through.
Well, let me first of all speak on the I would say disingenuous remarks of the when he suggests. Ken, I'm getting some feedback. I'm not sure.
And could we fix that? Is it any better?
Hello?
Yeah.
A little bit better, yes. The minister remarked that he was saving the country $89 million per annum and $890 million.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is this. When that bond would have been taken out by the then UNC government in 2000, when one looked at the bond yields over the 20-year period that would have been in time, so anybody borrowing money would have borrowed at or around about 10%. Bond yields would have been around about 10%. So that was the market rate at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Today, the market rate is closer to 2.5%. So by the minute, everybody rushed at 4.5% to renew the bond, or well, this in fact is a new bond.
Mm-hmm.
So it's disingenuous that it's far superior to what exists in the international market. What has done is he's given away approximately 2% on $250 million over the next 10 years.
Okay, that's the most significant point. Yeah, because are you saying that he could have gotten it at as low as 2.5%?
Well, that is the prevailing rate on the international market at this point in time for bonds into the next 10-year period,
right,
into the next 10-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the more of a premium you offer on top of the 2.5%, particularly with a government guarantee attached to it,
yes,
the more favorable investors will look at it. So if you offer 5%, 6%, whatever it is, particularly with a government guarantee, a soft, then clearly you're going to get purchasing of the bond, but you're giving away more because you're paying more interest to borrow that money over that 10-year period.
Yes. Right. Okay. So
I just wanted to make that very clear,
Mm-hmm.
that he hasn't actually said
Mm-hmm.
that the reality is that when that bond would have been entered into in 2000, those would have been the prevailing market rates at that point
right.
in time.
No, unless I missed it, I didn't hear the UNC make a comment on that. They set that record straight. In fact, I think this is the first time. Well, we had Ved Sira making a similar point, but not from not on behalf of the UNC. And I know you're not probably talking on behalf of the UNC. Then I think you're the first person clearing it up now.
Well, I'm speaking as a professional who understands the markets and how they operate.
All right. Now let's come to the $500 million bond.
So essentially what he's done is that they paid off the 250 million US dollar bond, and they borrowed another $500 million, essentially, at this rate of 4.5%. And the minister has not essentially told us what 250 has gone to repay the 250 bond, but he's not told us what the other 250 million is going to be utilized for. And that this comes on the heels of several borrowings that have taken place recently.
Right.
We know that we have had monies coming in from the CAF, 50 million, 20 million from the World Bank, 130 million from the IMF, money from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, $500 million from the local institution, banking institution. And none of those funds have been explained with regard to what the intent of it is. Yes, there's been a few things saying, okay, we're going to support local businesses, we're going to give the salary relief grant and so on. As to accounting for those funds and giving a total as to, look, X is here, this is the remainder, this is going for so and so. There's just been, throwing out an alphabet of numbers for the population to digest, and nobody's making any head or tail of what, or in fact dissecting what the Minister of Finance is throwing out.
Right, and that is a point we've been making on this station repeatedly, and because the government has simply been saying that it is properly accounted for and so on, and making these generic statements without going into details. Another relevant point in all of this is it appears, there's more than appears, there's money being utilized. We lost it. We lost him. And we're going to try to reach him again. Vasan Bharat, at 15 minutes to 4. I want to raise the point that we have been talking about for a while, and that is the use of taxpayers' money for PNM campaigning, and the evidence that we have brought forward and others have. But we hope we get back to him, and he was making several points that I really hadn't heard anybody discuss, certainly from the UNC perspective. Vasan, the point we're on to is the fact that there appears to be a commingling of funds, taxpayers' money, into PNM campaigning. I want to develop that for us.
Yeah, the reality is that the PNM will less there's probity into how they're spending those funds, and focus probity in terms of how they're spending those funds and commingling. Without that stringent probity in into what they're doing, and continued calls for accountability with regard to the use of the funds, they will do as they can please. They will do as they please. Whatever they can get away with is what they're going to continue to do, and that is why you require either the citizens or you require the opposition to continue to probe these issues and to continue to call in every possible way for where the monies are going. Unless that happens, they're going to continue to do what they're doing.
Now, and if you put pressure and you write international agencies, for example, you may find like the IADB or even some of these agencies that you call here that lent us money may call on the government to account. Is that a likelihood?
Well, remember what has happened, Ken, is that institutions, a number of the international lending agencies have set aside funding for developing countries in particular for COVID relief.
Yes.
Now, clearly, this is not just regard to how they're spending it, because, of course, there's going to be a backlash in future for the government of Trinidad and Tobago if it is that it is found that they're not dealing with the funds for the purposes for which they were granted. So you need to put pressure agencies on the government to be in a position for them to account for the monies that have been given to them, because these monies would have been granted for specific purposes regarding and relating to the relief of COVID-19.
Yes. And again, we come back, this is a political issue. I know this is a more rhetorical question, but why isn't the UNC raising a fuss over this? I know it's
your guess is as good as mine, and I'm sure many of your listeners would be in a better position than I am to give some reason as to why.
I didn't think you could answer it, but it is a deeply disturbing state of affairs.
It is disturbing that the government is being allowed to continue to, as you say, potentially commingle these grant funds and these loan funds that would be lent.
I mean, we are clearly within mere weeks of this general election. Shouldn't these be like election issues? At the same time, we have been wondering.
Without a strong economy going forward and without a vision for creating a strong economy, you're not going to have any economic activity. Without economic activity, you're not going to create any new jobs. Without any new jobs, of course, you're going to have an idle workforce. You're going to have young people who are going to be frustrated, depressed, angry. Many of them are going to be looking to leave Trinidad and Tobago because we haven't created the environment for them. Without activity, we will have no new revenue streams. Without any new revenue streams, we will have no hospital, health care, we will have no proper transportation, we will have no proper education. So it all pivots on the economy going forward, and that's why I continue to say you have to have the best hands on deck, the best minds in the room to chart that way forward in a 5-year job. This is something that you have to start putting in place and seeing results within 3 to 6 months. And the reason I say that, Ken, is very simple. The world is in recession. The entire world is in recession, not just Trinidad and Tobago. And they are going to require the best human talent to get them out of this recession. And that human talent is going to be scarce. Going to be pulling from one pool, and that is a global pool. So if they recognize that there's talent in Trinidad and Tobago, they will pull you if they think that you can assist them in the development of their country. And so the same goes for financial capital. Financial capital will also be scarce. And so therefore you need the best talent who can go after that financial capital to his or her country for it to work for the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
If you don't have competence, you are going to fall further and further behind the rest of the world.
No, there are three matters here that I've heard you speak about on this program and that I've heard over the last few hours. One is an interview that Karen Nunes Teixeira did in which she roundly criticized Coleman Burt as Minister of Finance and made some of the points you have repeatedly been making. She said that in a television interview, and a lot of what she said I've heard you said before. Then there are two things I read in the news. Small businesses are talking about how difficult sales are since businesses reopen, and that's a point you had made too. There is a report in the press saying there would be a lot of household debt, family debt and so on, and because of job losses and so on. But those are the kind of analysis I heard you give us here over the last few weeks.
Yeah, and Ken, I have nothing personal against Mr. Imbert. The reality I've said from day one, and I've said for the last 5 years, he is not competent enough to be in that position. Particularly when one considers when the PNM came into office, commodity or depressed, and the economy was difficult, and it required a different level of thinking to what Minister Imbert had to offer. He doesn't have ground, nor does he have the experience, nor the expertise to be in that kind of position. So that's number one. But everything follows from that. So the ability to generate confidence in an economy really links back to the person who's in charge. So if you see that someone like Minister Imbert is in charge and he's making rash decisions or decisions that does not have any, less likely to want to invest in an environment like that because you're not sure what's going to happen tomorrow morning when you wake up. And the same goes for foreign investors looking at places in the world to invest, where there's a safe pair of hands, where people know what they're doing, they have a vision for the economy, of how to build a new economy in this new world, as is happening in Jamaica, right? There's a tremendous amount of credibility in the hands of the people who are running the economy.
Prime Minister Holness
and the finance minister.
Clark, yes.
Okay? They can go any spec from the international investing community and come back with investment dollars in their hands.
Right. Vance, we have limited time. I want to get your thoughts on one more matter. Point Lisas is closing down. It's been mothballed more and more. 7 plants down. That is about 40%. The weak prices, it has to do with the market and so on, and it has to do with natural gas. Where are we heading with Point Lisas?
Well, actually, it's 8 today. Ken.
8 today, yeah, with Nutrien.
Yeah, Nutrien closed, idled its plant today, and they said they would make a decision in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
With regard to the future of that particular facility. Third, of course, is the price of natural gas, which is the feedstock going into those plants. Now, that has probably had the most serious and deleterious impact on these plants closing down. Because, of course, the majority of those plants have closed down only since the Prime Minister and his team went to Houston and negotiated natural gas prices. It has been since then, it is post that arrangement that most of these plants have closed down. Of course, we have other problems, industrial labor problems and so on, and attitude and culture and so on, that has caused other plants like ArcelorMittal to close down. So we have a serious problem where we need to reassess the value chain on natural gas, and we need to relook at the role of NGC and what role it plays with regard to as an aggregator in future. Now, I want to tell you that is something without without speaking out too much about what the work of the committee is. That is something that specific subcommittee, which is the
energy
the value chain for natural gas and how NGC works as an aggregator and so on. I'm not sure what the recommendations are, but I know it's something they're working on. But it needs to be addressed immediately, because what's going to happen is that every single plant that pulls out of Point Lisa sends a signal to the others who are there. And pretty much you're going to end up with this being a ghost town.
Yes.
And it will be extremely difficult once these plants either mothball or move. And in fact, Ken, people may think that, they have plant invested on the ground and they're not going to pick themselves. In other cases, many of these plants can pick themselves up very quickly and move to another country.
ArcelorMittal.
Within 18 months, they're operating somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So where the terms and conditions are more favorable.
Yes, yeah. Vas, there's a lot more to discuss. We'll be heading to the news. So I want to thank you for now. But we'd keep in touch with you on these and other issues. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Vasan Barak talking these economic matters with us. We want to continue that discussion after to get your thoughts on all of these matters. They're very pertinent, so we'll pick up that discussion just after the 4 p.m. newscast.
Time has come. New 97.5. It's your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM Troll Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha, the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the Major Newscast to 4 p.m. on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. In the headlines, concerns over $10 million spending on Tobago Hotel. Investigations continue into Tobago charged with armed robbery. A 6th plant at Point Lisas has been closed. With the details, I am Aruna Bansi. The announcement by the Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary, $10 million is to be spent on renovations at Manta Lodge Hotel, is raising eyebrows. there's no history of the hotel welcoming guests. Mr. Dennis admitted that the THA has had a history of buying properties without feasibility studies. Mr. Dennis said that 24 high-end rooms would be added to the facility by the end of the year. He revealed that the project Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. He said there are promising options to manage the hotel. Manta Lodge at Speyside was bought in November 2015 at a cost of $8 million. The hotel has not yet been put into use by the THA. A sanctuary resort bought for $24 million has also not been utilized. Tobago police have confirmed that investigations are proceeding into the murder of a businessman whose body was found in a makeshift grave and covered with concrete. A senior police officer said that investigations are at stage. 64-year-old Kunjbihari Jayashree of Karanaj has been reported missing several days before his body was uncovered at the back of an unfinished church at Old Milford Road, Lowlands, in the Sister Isle. The corpse was dug up after homicide police information found the 8-feet-deep grave. Relatives have described the crime as a mafia-style killing. Police are continuing to probe the murder of 2 men at Enterprise Shogunas. The killings took place yesterday following what has been termed as a drug deal gone sour. During the melee, 2 men were kidnapped and thrown in. 2 men who escaped being kidnapped notified the police. The kidnappers called and made demands, following which several police branches led a mass operation. The police went to the reported drop-off zone for the ransom. When the alleged kidnappers arrived, there was a confrontation during which gunshots were fired. They were taken to the Shogunas District Health Facility where they were pronounced dead on arrival. The kidnapped victims suffered chop wounds and were warded in a stable condition at the hospital. The son of a pastor from central Trinidad is on bail after being arrested for armed robbery. Patrick of Balmain Couver pleaded not guilty and was granted bail during a virtual hearing before Magistrate Christine Charles. Patrick, whose father is a pastor at a church at Karapichaima, was arrested for allegedly robbing a garden store at Couver of $1,000. He is due to reappear in court on July 21st. Planned shutdowns are taking place at Point Lisa's industrial estate. The closure of ammonia producer Nutrien is the 6th petrochemical plant to be closed within the last 6 months. The company is blaming low demand, weak international prices, and the cost of natural gas. Company officials said they would reconsider the move and take a final decision. On the eve of the general election, the government is set to turn the sod for the long-promised San Fernando waterfront project. A ceremony is planned for 10 a.m. tomorrow. The project includes widening of a new Ministry of Works. Rohan Sinanan is scheduled to address the function. The United National Congress is expected over the next few days to announce more candidates for the upcoming general election. A candidate for the marginal Lahokita Talpara likely to be named shortly, party sources have said. Sources also said that all 39 candidates have been confirmed by the screening committee. The UNC is not contesting the 2 Tobago seats. The ruling People's National Movement has finalized its slate of 41 candidates. Saharan dust levels decreased slightly, weather forecasters have said. This is advising sensitive and affected people to still be cautious. The weather experts say the current decrease is due to high moisture content. In regional news, concerns over delay in finalizing the Guyana election results is now being expressed by the Commonwealth Secretary General, Patricia Scotland. Ms. Scotland said the figures presented by Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield of the recount would be contrary to the fundamental principles which are treasured by the Commonwealth family. She called on all responsible parties to consider the consequences as a democratic country if such an approach was allowed to stand. The results of the March 2nd general election have been bogged down by a number of legal red tape, and a winner has not yet been announced. Internationally, the three most densely populated states in the United States are seeing surges in the number of COVID-19 cases. Florida, Texas, and California are each recording more than 5,000 cases a day. California yesterday 1,000 new cases. Medical officials are urging residents to practice all relevant hygiene measures. The 122,000 and infected almost 2.4 million worldwide. Let's take a look at the weather. Partly cloudy, hazy at times, with breezy conditions, a few brisk light to moderate showers. There's a low chance of heavy showers or thunderstorms favoring the afternoon or evening. In the event of a heavy downpour, gusty winds in excess of 60 kilometers an hour and street floodings may be experienced. There's a moderate concentration of Saharan dust present in the atmosphere. Sensitive people take precautions. Seas are moderate, waves 2 meters to 2 in open waters, near 1 in sheltered areas. High tide is expected at 7:43 p.m. Sunset is expected at 6:30 p.m. This was the major news to 4 p.m. on U97.5, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Continuing is Politics 2020 with Mr. Ken Ali and Ann Duki. I am Aruna Bansi. Good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago.
Hurry to 3C2 Rentals, number 77 Bonaventure Road, Gasparillo, for your business and personal tool and rental needs. Available for rent: coring machines, compactors, concrete vibrators, demolition hammers, drills, saws, scarifiers, pressure washers, generators, welding units, trash pumps, hydrostatic test pumps, and so much more. We offer free transport in and around Gasparillo and at very competitive prices. Visit or call us at 650-2362 or 789-4581 for more information.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, Road in Gasparillo, for all your hardware material to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high quality on-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3 at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barraco, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations, Endeavor Road, Chiguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, super quality supermarket, and quality cash and carry supermarket.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BT Sino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Cathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you. The best analysis, your views. Join U975 Multicultural Radio from Monday to Thursdays for the best discussions on the issues that matter to you. Journalists Ken Ali and Ann Dukey talk to top personalities, give you breaking news, and provide quality commentary. Be in the audience from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays for talk that matters. Only on U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
U975 FM presents Unwind, a one-of-a-kind radio show to stimulate your mind. Unwind is content driven to address critical issues by stripping to the naked truth, separating the petals from the flower, peeling the root of the matter, with intelligent discussions and analysis to inform, educate, entertain, and inspire. Don't miss it. Unwind is produced and hosted by yours truly, Sivadas Prasad, on Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday, 28th June from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together Monday to Friday. It's Monday.
We continue the discussions with you. We want to get your thoughts on the views of Vasa and Bharat and also your thoughts on the other issues of the day. Let's go back to the lines. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali.
Good afternoon, sir.
I don't know if you heard the statement in the gas deal.
Yes.
But if you remember earlier in the week, I made that same prediction when I said that Churchill will end up being PDVSA. So, I mean, if I could have seen that, why the other people can't see it?
Well, who said they didn't see it? They see it and they may have seen it.
Yeah, because they don't want the truth to be shown, to be made known. And I think people should be digging on this now. Let Keith Rowley and his band of clowns and misfits answer for that. Because let me tell you something. The U.S. is watching him, what's happening here. And that revelation, they will be looking at the outcome of the election.
Yeah, and the UNC has to prosecute this issue, you know. The UNC has to come and, I mean, it's good that Anil and others...
They need to get the correct documents, authenticate it, and dig it. That tongue is still lying in government. That is the only reason I have to vote right now, is just to get rid of the taxi line in government.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So Barrett had to say, and a couple of comments I want to make for today is two main reasons. Well, I would say three main reasons. One, at which we supply is a bit difficult for those persons, those industries that are there in order to pay. Second, gas is available universally. A lot of products are being developed in other areas which are competing with Point Lisa's products, so that makes it depressed also. And when the COVID crisis came and like the whole planet shut down, that made it even worse. But Ken, I believe to myself that the plans and praises to Keith Rowley and his government that Trinidad can develop the Manatee field on its own. Now, when we develop the Manatee field on our own, the thing is that we still have to have middlemen. We need BP and other stuff, sisters, to get the gas out of there and then pump it on shore and all of that. You know something, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
When Mr. Barrett was in office between 2010 and 2015, if he kept an eagle eye on what was taking place, he would have realized 16 NGC's coffers, which would have given NGC an excellent credit rating by any of the rating agencies in the world, right? Sitting away on non-productive matters. They cannot identify off-book spending by the UNC, $16 billion. They just sitting away NGC's account. And let me tell you what we fall back from that. If NGC had that money in its coffers, it could have gotten a good credit rating, and the NGC itself could have started to develop that gas field, could have been one of the individuals developing that gas field to bring that gas on shore. But NGC had no money. The NGC, have no money at this point in time to go about to develop that gas field on its own. And have NGC develop that gas field, we would have cut out the middleman from a certain sector in relation to bringing that gas on shore, and therefore could have given the products at a better price on the international market. Now, let me tell you something. There was a type of thing that the last government had for NGC that nobody could have understood. Just before 2010, Mr. Manning and others had made arrangements with the government for NGC to go to Ghana and to develop their gas industry. For NGC earning money out of that. And Ms. Prasad Bisesa, when that deal was made, Ms. Prasad Bisesa refused to honor it. In fact, Dr. Rowley restarted the program with Ghana, and the last message that Ms. Prasad Bisesa sent out was that, how do you expect this country to go forward? NGC not going to Ghana to give them anything, Whatever it is they do in Ghana, they're being paid for it. So at the end of the day, I'm saying the economy is the issue of the election, and those who could best manage it.
Right.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Now, I think there's some factual inaction, but let's talk to this caller here. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Ali.
Good afternoon.
Very strong program.
Thank you.
This is the best late afternoon program on any radio.
Thank you.
Fact that Mrs. Bisesa need a resource personnel like him, and he should make himself available to her, because tonight she'll be on the radio. As usual, well, Jagoti does give her a little blight, and I would like to see that this station give her a little blight too, because like she don't have any money, all those big boys gone over with the PNM, and she very humble, and she coming over tonight from 8 to about 9 listeners to keep to move the dial.
In terms of figure, to be correct, you see, there's a subject of debate, because the government said this is taxpayers' money. The NGC money is taxpayers' money. I think what instead the government of the day did, they said this is taxpayers' money and infrastructure development on behalf of the people. I'll go on to some other points. So let's hear this caller. Good afternoon to you.
Right, Mr. Ali.
Yes.
That is the PNM logic of Eric and the PNM, that the money belongs to the PNM when they are in government. It doesn't. And this is what they believe. That is why they treat it. Eric talking about NGC has no money. But NGC started losing money since the change of government. And the board was put in with a set of party hats from the PNM who knows nothing about running NGC. They put all kind of PNM people in all board that they know what they're doing. Same thing they do with Malcolm Jones and Petrocin, and $11 billion on the drain. Eric, you don't forget that. or you have a convenient memory to make up if you is a fish, no matter what you do, you would still smell like fish.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was going to I don't know, Eric, if you reported Mrs. Prasad Bisesa correctly now and about Ghana. What I think she said, and I could investigate it here, I could research it here, but I think the point she was making is that the Trinidad and Tobago government is in no position to give advice out to you.
A blessed day to you and to Mr. You see, Mr. Vasan Bharat and them, this evening he come and he said there are too many square plugs in the wrong wood. Use another word, but which is meant that. And when you put people who don't, it's a terrible. Like if you and you fire one and the manager that you hire coming with the same report every day is the work supervisor. What you put he there for? Not to run your company, sir. And this is what happening. They're complaining about everybody, but there's too many square plugs in, and Mrs. Prasad, she must do this, she must do that. And what we must do, just lie and wait for she to get into power. If we don't do our part, she could never, because we are the one. This government pick every time. We are so, they say pull belt, we have belt to pull again, you know. We just, everybody needs
you to take your calls this Thursday. Let's hear this caller. Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Ali, yes, I could get a minute, please.
Yes.
Mr. Ali, I think that empty vessels make the most of that noise, correct? So when I like talking, you know, is it because he just Mr. Manning and he was praising Mr. Manning? So now we're praising Rowley now. So I would like to know what takes place after that. But she know, and the country know, and he know that the PNM and especially Mr. Rowley, this trust to muscle for the country. And it. He must remember also that the same people, Solar, and he promised for everything. And he waited until the very few weeks again in office, just to tell people he could do it. And you and I know it's just a game to play, Mr. Ali. Because if you go to his own constituents, he make a statement, you don't know none of them, and you don't need to know none of them. You understand? And I hope to show him that, boy, we don't know you, and we mustn't vote for you, and vote for the UNC, my brother. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. 4th Thursday. So we're talking about that matter that we had discussed in our first hour. We could continue to talk about that. Vasan Bharat says the economy, the capacity to run the economy heading into. And he had said, and others, two other economists, Wade had said that here, Dr. Hussein, Mariano Brown, Mara Dukaran and so on, have been anticipating that the economy is going to take a major tail. That we see medium-sized businesses complaining. Same point they made that the bank, all in other words, that had been predicted now is not.
Call you what is the COP? With these people, it's about ego, right? Ego. We need all hands on deck, all brains. Mr. Dukaran, Mr. Pandey. I don't know why Pandey do put aside his difference. I mean, he was a damn good prime minister. Right? I think he was about the best functioning prime minister Trinidad ever had. Okay? He run his country when oil was about what, $9 or $11 a barrel, and he did so much. So you don't have to assume power, but advice, please. After this COVID-18 and COVID-19, we need all brains on deck, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we have raised the matter with Vasan Bharat on several occasions with respect to that point you're making with the UNC, and on several occasions he has responded that he's not a member of any of the agencies. He has attended meetings, and there's where it stops. So I think that answers that question. What I will say is the cultural difference, and look at what's happening with the PNM, where they've reached out to Penny Beckles, they've reached out to Brian Manning. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, evening, Mr.
Afternoon.
Kenali, evening, Ms. Anduki, Mr. Imbut happened to be a guy with a lot of governmental experience. And as far as I understand, within the Ministry of Finance, they have to guide you and consult. So, any decision that he makes that is not logical or in tune with the business community or even the our plans at that point, Lisa, that'll be his fault because no lack of information. I mean, if you have a decision, then all who concerned, they'll look at the best economics, nobody knows everything, all hands on deck. So, I fully agree with Vasan Bharat's point there where he said that he had it because I remember UNC had called a banker, they paid them off a big hefty and called them to assist them with the finances. And then experts at their disposal, any decision he make will have to be some self-interest or some political interest, but not to deliberately, I mean, in this modern day, I think he's supposed to make any decision that will flop the place or make it look good. Okay, yes, forward. But I know that this as politicians, they do it in order for them. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. For 30, let's take a brief break. And we come back, we talk some more on this and some of the other issues, the political issues, as our friend from Belmont reminds us as we take this call. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali.
I'm glad we took this call.
Good afternoon, Anna. Good afternoon to the listeners. Mr. Ali, when someone would come on your radio and tell someone because they speak their mind and so you will say, shut your mouth. Mr. Ali, if he go in the UNC, put his tail between his leg and get all his legs and go, you will say, oh, Vasan, welcome. Mr. Ali, people must have a little more respect for others when they want them in the party. You know, something missed me what somebody was saying just now, and as I come on to call now, it kind of missed me, but it is an important point, and I can't get it back in.
I know what happened there. When you realize you were going to talk to Anne, you got nervous.
Mr. Ali,
make it out, you know.
Mr. Ali, listen to me.
Call us back. I just exactly knew.
Mr. Ali, listen to. Oh yes. You know what it is?
You see?
The leader of the opposition, when a gentleman call and say what she must do, you see that thing tickle my brains. What she must do, the leader of the opposition are being paid with a staff and an office to do the work of the leader of the opposition. The leader of the opposition is a member of parliament. For her constituency, she got an office, she got a staff. So her work have been cut down by 50%. Who is outside, who is not a member, and who is just fighting to get, I want people to vote for me, Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali, it is given to her. And if it is, Mr. Ali, when you want to get in government or anything, it's hard work. Not to say, like, you and I will just go there and look up and take the calls and what. It's a bit, I know it's hard work.
It's
but
a lot of work, yes.
Yes, right. Mr. Ali, I am telling you, Mr. Ali, when I used to be campaigning, I didn't forget to sleep. Whole day, I started to cook for 2 days. Sometimes drop my children by my mother holidays time, run back in school, pick them up, see what they left. And I was doing it for free because I love my country. All members of parliament, all council have an office and a staff, Miss Bill. They don't have to pay the rent. They don't have to pay all that, Mr. Ali. That is the point was coming off my head, but I'm glad they come back, Mr. Ali. Please, Mr. Ali, when the people want Mr. Ali, I am getting things because
don't be
I
upset.
don't want to sit on that next 5 years, you know.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
We take the...
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, Sanford. CDAP prescriptions, Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barraco, GN Building in Peter, Current Village, San Fernando.
Hardware and General Contractors Limited, located at 1 in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers
5 kg bags for wholesale and retail prices. Contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Hurry. Saws, scarifiers, pressure washers, generators, welding units, trash pumps, hydrostatic test pumps, and so much more. We offer free transport at Esperillo and at very competitive prices. Visit or call us at 650-2362 or 789-4581 for more information.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the tea goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday, 28th 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. this Monday.
U975 FM presents Unwind, a one-of-a-kind radio show to stimulate your mind. Unwind is content driven to address criticism to the naked truth, separating the petals from the flower, peeling the skin from the fruit, and digging right down to the very root of the matter, with intelligent discussions and analysis to inform, educate, entertain, and inspire. Don't miss it. Unwind is produced and hosted by yours truly, Sivadas Prasad, on Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
Minutes to 5 p.m. this Thursday. We continue with your call 636-7547. 227-5739. The Domestic Violence Act, the amendments passed in the Parliament. Still, the Parliament has neither houses, neither the Senate nor the House of Representatives considered the motion with respect to same-sex relationships. So that is a matter remains outside of the remit of that law. The Parliament is due to meet again tomorrow, and clearly the term of the Parliament is coming to an end a few weeks again. Let's go back to the calls. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
And to Anne. You see, Mrs. Kamala Prasad going to the root that keeps up a tree to make it flourish and bear. You're going to the people to find what is the problem. Are you happy today? What is your real problem in life? You can't go and tell these people about issues about that is too high for them. There is people, look, for 9 years, we had 4 policemen, they killed some people in Moruga, I believe. The case now come out now and they say Joe Man, he's charged for murder. And Mr. Gary Griffith want to fire. You see when they just bring race thing, so long you take now, because the election coming up to bring in race into this police thing. See what them do to you people. And this is why we have to be careful. And to Mr. Arima, you must want to take a run in the horse track. You need some exercise.
You have a pot shot there. You know, talking about the police, I want to commend the court for its decision it handed down, blocking the police commissioner for firing these police officers who are on charges. Let's walk through this very carefully. There are a few people facing charges, right? Criminal charges, and you're innocent until proven guilty. The commissioner say, that can work, with tax. But it's not these people's fault that they're waiting 9 and 10 and how many years for justice. It can't be their fault. So this a man who is on charges went to the court, and the court stood so on. And I think the court did the correct. Now, having said that, it is justice delayed is justice denied. That says it all, because it can't be fair for somebody to be waiting 10 years to have a matter called in court. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Anya and Ms. Duki.
Hi.
That caller who called just now and criticizing Mr. Raymond, whoever, and all he does when he comes is just campaign, Ms. Sister, this, he says, nobody, people support her, but they have to talk about the ills about her. Now, when he wants to say the root of the tree, and I want them to know the tree, the seed, and give the branches and the fruit energy. Everything comes from the root from there, so you have to feed it. You have to do all the work, give it the energy, whatever. So the tree has to be working hard. Any leader of a businessman or leader of a party have to work twice as hard as anybody. So let them know that the branch and the fruit depends on the root. They have to work hard. Thank you.
Thank you. And on that note, I think I want to say, let us criticize people's ideas. Anne and I say that all the time. Criticize the don't go personal with people. People would hold different points of view, and that is their right, and we must encourage that. If we all saying the same thing, there's only need for one person to speak. So we must encourage, especially on this show, we want to hear all our points of view, but it really, we should not, and I think she's called twice on this issue to essentially make the same point. Let's respect people's point of view, and let's criticize the ideas. Let's stick to ideas. Right. So the UNC is due to meet, I think, this evening virtually, and we're hearing talk that there may be an announcement. A lot of speculation, and there are a lot of comments about the candidates who have been named also, but that's another matter. But there's speculation about Kumoto Manzanilla, about La Hoqueta Talparo, and so on and so forth. Shogunas East, yes. No, you're keeping your eyes focused on Shogunas East. Yes, there's a lot of speculation. Incumbents that the PNM has dumped. They've dumped a lot of ladies too. They dumped the guy from Deo Martin Central who we expected. They dumped
Toko Manzanilla.
Toko, she make a little fuss, but they dump her. Nicole Oliver. They dumped the Edmund Dillon from Point Forte. They dumped San Fernando East and several others. And they all stayed quietly. Lovell Francis. And
they make a little noise and then they calm down.
That's right, and so on. But culturally, we keep making the point. But I hope that this person is telling us here. You see, there are a lot of speculation, and I don't want to call name.
Dump Port of Spain South.
Yes.
A major one.
Marlene McDonald. And they put,
well liked.
They put Cleopatra Borrell, who, as they say...
They don't know, they don't see.
She from... Mayaro. She living in Port of Spain. She's going to represent Port of Spain. So, but apparently they met with Dr. Rowley and they make peace and things. Somebody is telling us here about a speculation with Shogunas East. We are in the name. It's true.
Until it's announced, we don't know.
Indeed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. I was reading an article by, is it Ferdy Ferreira? Yeah, did you read that article?
Where's the article today?
I think it was maybe yesterday.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I didn't come across it, but go ahead.
Okay, well, you know how Ferdy is, right? He has a very strong position, very Afrocentric position, but he's also fair at times. I like listening to him. And in his article, he said something interesting, and I really, it got my attention, And I think the PNM plays it too, but he said that, Indian people, when they arrived here, we came under negotiated contracts. And he said from that time to the present day, we have always had opportunities given to us. And he said even with the rise of the wealth in the Indian community, and that includes the Prime Minister, who is an Indian woman, and then all these lawyers and doctors, he said that they have elevated themselves. And he said that the black community really did suffer a lot. And then he didn't really blame the Prime Minister, but he was talking about just trying to make, like every time they're climbing, something happens. And I'm not saying there's an excuse, but he came back to the land issue, and this land issue is a big deal. He said that almost every Indian country has about $1 million worth of land.
Really? Anne, you have that?
No, I don't have the
And I
article.
noticed something in the newspapers as I was reading this, because remember, we're talking about land tenure and land problems right now in Parliament. And he said that, anyway, I'm trying to remember.
Go ahead, because I'm trying to access the article. I'm not finding it. But
I think it was, let me see, where was it? It was in
but
the
go ahead,
Guardian,
give us the outline that you're doing.
I'm sorry?
Continue with your discussion.
Yeah, and so when he said that, I noticed, like on in Parliament, we're seeing now a lot of anger over land tenure, land development now. A man with daughter said he thinks it was land related. He was an Indian guy, and he had a hotel, Easy Breezy. And then right here in Las Lomas, 7 acres of land, and they were quarrying. It's private land. This is private property. Indian people own it, and guess what they're saying? The government is saying that was $20 million worth of quarrying activity they were doing on that property, and they don't have a license for aggregate. 5 or 7 people were arrested or something like that. So I think what we're looking at here is now there's a resentment building up there. I want to share this to tell you. Other people in our country who are at a disadvantage, who really didn't get anything, and not much, and they had a government that really kind of got corrupted, they really feel the brunt of it because, like our village, or where Indian people reside, I'm talking people who are moving from Laventille, people who are moving out from Peterman, trying to get a little piece of land, an acre of land, maybe one lot of land, and they're seeing how Indian people living. They're starting to question themselves because integration now is really taking place because of development. And I think we are looking at it and saying, the PNM sending people out there to get the votes. There are people out there who are working in farmers, and we got negotiated land, we bought land, some of us. They never had that opportunity, and government never gave them that opportunity. And they're not getting the opportunity to speak up because when you have people like...
And you're onto a very good point, and there's a developing trend, really. This matter of reparations, in which many people are advocating that part of reparations must
absolutely,
slavery,
and I don't.
Yes.
We have enough land for everybody to get one lot, but you know what's happening? Government, and a good example would be that 1,000 acres, and we have people who are private, people who own thousands of acres in Mayaro, Cocoa and Coconut Estate, and they're not doing much with it.
Not given land. All I'm saying is that I acknowledge you made a really good point that it is a matter that has come on the national front almost quietly, and most people are not paying attention to it. And I think that was very observant of you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon.
Reparations of land in Trinidad, how does it ever make sense? This country, land in this country, belongs to indigenous people. We have slaves or indentured. Any reparations go at the people who committed the crime against you. Their land, their money. Where are you going to take Trinidad and Tobago land from who? From the indigenous people? Does that make sense? And the fact is, you see, we have a history that we don't pay attention to. Dr. Williams said the words, the African slaves left the plantation with just the clothes on their backs. And he's going to put that right. You go from Diego Martin across the East-West Corridor, the most country, housing, offers to businesses, come establish. They got concessions, so there'll be job opportunities, schools, everything. What more? What more do they want? What the Amazonians got a few acres of land to establish a center? What, you want the whole country? Doesn't make no sense. You want reparations? Fine. Go against those who trying to be good to you. Thank you much.
Thank you. This reparations issue would go on and on and on and on, which is not to say there's not all dimensions to this. The first thing I feel, and I really feel is almost a dead-end discussion, but I just said this briefly. If you want to discuss giving land to certain people, you have to ask first, do they want the land, and would they put the land to productive use? All right, to use the term agrarian, land-oriented, and so on, and they have spent time and involvement in agricultural production, because apart from building homes and apart from commercial and industrial operations, use land for agriculture. I know it's gaining some ground and so on in the U.S. also, and so. But the issue of land, I know there will people continue to ask the question about with respect to granting of land. To what use would it be put, right? But I don't think this is an issue that's come to a solution anytime soon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr.
Good afternoon.
Triple D.
Yes.
I'm Guangtan Village, crossing.
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
Right. Like that crossing bridge going to open tomorrow. Let's see how they put the white line and the paving, the traffic light come up right back.
No, I opening a highway, you know.
Right?
It's a bridge.
One of us boy.
It's a bridge they're opening, you know.
I want to see who's going to win that campaign. Because my family country.
But it's two things happening there, just now.
All voted to them last time.
No, but just now, a caller, is two things happening there tomorrow. I'm now thinking about it. One is they're opening that bridge over crossing over the Superior River. And the other one is they're going to start up the San Fernando foreshore, the waterfront project, and the widening of the Lady Hills Avenue. Now, many years we've been hearing about a waterfront project. And it appears to me at every election time it is turned this side and so on and so forth. But go ahead.
That waterfront is just a front.
It's a front.
What's in the fish can I stop? How to spoil that back?
What did we in there? That's spoiling it. Oh, you go on. No, I wanted to hear more on that issue. I want to know what they're doing because they've stopped the project with respect to
many times the project have been
right.
left and the government come and go there, so they're opening
yeah,
it.
You mean the
You heard
waterfront?
Carolyn, yes,
no, haven't said
I'm
that.
going to open it.
And I tell you that I haven't said that for a waterfront project. It is beautiful. This is the West Coast. It is a sheltered port. It's absolutely beautiful. We should have had something like that for a long time, like how Barbados has and St. Lucia and places around the world. But it remains a political issue. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ken. Good afternoon.
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 Mr. Ken, I don't know if I am permitted to bring this to your attention, but I was listening to another presenter and a clip by a PNM activist who is supposed to be making a statement which is advising PNM supporters to jump over UN fence, run up the steps, and hold them and deal with them seriously. Come on, that is with politics and we can see violence.
Okay, I have to follow on that, and I will look to get that and air it here. Yes.
Yeah, right. That, please.
Thank you very much. No, I would. In 6 minutes to 5 p.m. on this Thursday, Ann Duki, Ken Ali, our friend Shiva Parasram, and he has us on YouTube.
Morning to you.
Thank you very much
Welcome.
for calling. Yes, welcome.
The gentleman that called here just now and made that accusation against the some talk show. Please, people, please.
Okay.
Right, sir? Thank you very much.
No, but okay. Are you there?
You want to expand on that?
Yeah. Tell us more. Tell us more.
No, you see, I doesn't like to get engaged in these sort of stuff. Like, every evening I sit down and I listen to the program too. And I listen to the program. There's good chances. Mr. Ali, thank you very much.
And thank you for your call, sir. We greatly appreciate that. Thanks. I just wanted to get to the bottom of that if we could. We confirm it or we justify it or we approve of it, but just to find out what the allegations are. 5 minutes to the hour of 5 p.m. We thank you. We don't say enough thanks to our international listeners and those who send us messages and so on. So we want to take that opportunity. Thank you very much for being with us. A number of people around the world listen to us for their update on what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. He's not only going to talk your talk. Being Mukesh, you laugh too. So it's going to be great programming. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ken.
Good afternoon.
Me again. Please, I give you that information just now present with the from the talk show. Check it for me, please. Second. That's me wrong if it is not true.
Yeah, okay, good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I've already moved to
we'll make checks on it.
Yes, we would. Heading to the 5 p.m. hour, we have more to discuss with you. Dates are announced. We've been trying to get the candidates on all sides, and we anticipate that there would be more coming very soon, and we would look to bring them to you. Now, okay, for this article was in Wednesday's Guardian. And
okay.
Thank you for our great friend for sending us a note. And I also, on this same note, I'm seeing, and those who have not heard, Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, she had two interventions recently. One is a statement on Guyana, and which we played yesterday, and it was tremendous. It was well worded, and she's a forthright lady. And then there was that interview, and I just came across it yesterday evening, I want to give credit to her. I thought it was a good interview by her, and Mia Mottley was extraordinarily good. I think we have a powerful Caribbean leader. I'm very, very impressed with her. I think we have two outstanding Caribbean leaders. She is one, and the other one is Andrew Holness in Jamaica. He's turned around the Jamaican economy. And a point that Vassan makes all the time too is in Jamaica, they have a competent minister of finance. His name is Mr. Clark. And what they have done in Jamaica, we should all as Caribbean, St. Kitts Nevis, a small place called Dr. Timothy Harris and some others who are who have done well and so on. Andrew Holness is somebody similarly. Mia Mottley, and does she have ability to speak, boy? Wow, she's rousing. Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Ken Ali.
My friend.
You get invited to the bridge open tomorrow?
No, I ain't get no invite.
But I passed, yesterday I passed and I see that they decorated. I say, what?
So they decorate a bridge?
They decorate to open a bridge.
But
Miss Anne get invitation?
Anne might get an invite. Look out for Anne there. Look out for Anne.
I'll just find out how we get an invitation to go to our bridge thing.
But listen, all you
well, it's over money.
But not only that, it would be a motorist.
I want to drink something, but what time you open?
Mid-morning, because they also have at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. would be the opening of the waterfront project.
You look like you're very interested. Thank you.
They take the front light tomorrow in the media.
Yeah, they would make big speech and thing. And these things always happen on the eve of an election.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they say, no, it has nothing to do with the election.
Yeah,
and I hate they're paving up Lady Hills Avenue and thing.
Yeah, they're shining all over, they're shining.
All Moruga, I'm seeing men working overtime, you know.
Yeah.
Caller? He left us.
Yeah, but you were saying...
all Moruga, Borgege, and all the Landsmeeton and so bridges are being built. He is working overtime.
The fish depot.
Yes.
And so on, and they're paving up and down the place and so on. If you stay there too long, they pave
over the dog.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
As John paving, you ever see you have a truck parked by the side of the road and they're doing a pavement and the cars around the truck.
Oh my Lord.
The truck shut down there for the longest while.
Oh my.
They pave around the truck.
The owner living next door.
Uh-huh.
And that shut down there and pass was missing from the thing.
They should take a picture.
My gosh.
Somebody should take a picture of
Where is this?
That mover, that happened right, that was right near the highway in Freeport by the flying highway.
Right.
Yes, Mr. Ken.
Thank you. You know, remember the time when Carlos John was... So, a Dustbin Terrier... you know what's a Dustbin Terrier?
Yes.
A Dustbin Terrier. A Dustbin Terrier, a stray dog, sleep away on the road and it get paved over.
The savannah.
Yeah, he paved the savannah.
Which he got a lot of licks for, but they appreciate it today.
You know, I wonder if these things impact voters. I really don't know. I mean...
When they go into that voting booth, what goes to mind?
Yeah, I wonder if that, would... Shiva, you think so? I mean, they come and they pave your road a week before the election. Would that...
impact you?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, it's me again. You cut me off.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't finish. What I really call you for. I sat down by my TV last night when Marty was talking. That's very good. She have everything by the tip of her finger. She didn't have to... I don't think she was looking at any computer or any book or nothing. She was fluent. And I think the only person, when I say that I know, was the Silver Fox.
Well, that's a big compliment to pay, huh?
Huh?
As a compliment to pay both of them. You
yes,
paid a big compliment.
I think he could still talk like that. But what she give, she didn't form before anything.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Thank you. And you know, apart from her ability to speak, she has a vision. She has a vision where she wants to see the Caribbean people. I would like to read a little bit about her history and so on. She's extremely well informed to the Caribbean people. Tremendous tribute. I have great respect for her. 5:02. Let's take a break. We come back. We take more calls. We go on to 6 p.m. and we have a 6 p.m. newscast. And let's take this one quickly. Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Ken Ali.
Sir.
The road inside by me didn't pay for 35 years. The last time I paid for 35 years. And before the UNC election, 1 month before election last year, the UNC, but I know UNC Stronghold Princeton. They paved the road for... I was glad because if it wasn't for that election, I might not get paid.
Road? Is that Sanko Road?
Yeah, it's Sanko Road. Sanko Sisters Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they paved about that month before the last election.
Did it influence your voting? Did it influence your voting?
It's nice. The road nice. I said thank you.
All right.
If that's the only time you get to the other, take it and smile.
Right. But it'd be interesting to find out if that will sway a
influence a
vote. One way or the other. Just after 5 p.m. we take the break and we come back.
Time has come. 97.5. Make it your choice. Someone 97.5. Music for you, it's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Visit Eddie's Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center.
A&S Hardware and General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. All at A&S Hardware and General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-218.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can
fruits and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your items to choose from. Take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, super quality supermarket, and quality cash and carry supermarket.
Kathy's Cool Spot Airville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will do.
Hurry, hurry to 3C2 Rentals, number 77 Bonaventure Road, Gasparillo, for your business and personal tool and rental needs. Available for rent: coring machine, concrete vibrators, demolition hammers, drills, saws, scarifiers, pressure washers, generators, welding units, trash pumps, hydrostatic test pumps, and so much more. We offer free transport in and around Gasparillo and at very competitive prices. Visit or call us at 362 or 789-4581 for more information.
Kelton Puran Manufacturers Limited of 44 Bay Road, Bamboo Village, La Romaine. Manufacturers, wholesalers, and importers of wheelbarrows, ridging, roof bolts, hold-down bolts, nipples, washers, hinges, sag rods, face basin, brackets, shovels, spades, door frames, etc. Telephone them on 657-4716 and fax number 657-4952. MLTD@yahoo.com.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. Listen, join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday, 28th June from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. this Monday.
The issues of the day, the newsmakers, the best analysis, your views. Join U975 Multicultural Radio from Monday to Thursdays for the best news that matter to you. Journalists Ken Ali and Ann Dookie talk to top personalities, give you breaking news, and provide quality commentary. Be in the audience from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Book that matters. Only on U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
509, we continue with your calls at 636-754-7227-5739. How long again before this election, and is the government extensive borrowings they have taken and that, for example, Vasan Bharat talked to us about in our first hour, telling us we've gotten funding from CAF, from the World Bank, the IMF. We've raised about 500 million financial institutions, and we dipped into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. We haven't had any accountability with respect to that. Every now and then we get a nominal statement from the Minister of Finance and then his junior, Alison West, but no proper accounting for that, and that can be acceptable evidence before where they are taking money from that they have assigned for social welfare benefits, and they are spreading it out through the offices of PNM candidates and PNM operatives and foot soldiers and activists and so on. Why hasn't the UNC raised that as an issue? Well, I don't electoral issue. I see these issues, how they're spending our money. Are they using this to campaign? And to, another issue that is happening, they are awarding houses. Now, you can't stop that, but they're giving out houses in various areas just on the eve of the election. We'll come back to that in a while because I want to talk about the Venezuelans also. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali and Ms. Duki. They're selecting for a seat. The 14 we are voting. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't answer that. I think it's a relevant question. All I do when this matter comes up, I point to the different, I call it culture. You could call it different words. And how the PNM handles its business. They bring in the Mannings, and they bring in Brian Manning. They bring in a lot of people. And I'll tell you about that. They bring in Penny Beckles.
Good afternoon, Ken, and good afternoon, Anne.
Good afternoon.
The gentleman talking about Sambara just now. Let me tell you something. You see, when you are and when you putting yourself up and looking good as a leader, the other leader doesn't want you. As long as them want power and they want to stay in power, you don't see another leadership. Right? That is one. And you're talking about money?
But that's UNC leadership you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
Because in the PNM, Penny Beckles challenged Dr. Rowley, yeah? And I can tell you what she said about him then. Go ahead.
She had led protests in Arima.
I know what Penny say about Manning and about Rowley and about, I know all that things. But the point about it, as long in the UNC, you're showing up yourself for leadership. And between 2010 to 2015, there was no accountability for money borrow for your 65 billion. Money borrow anywhere. You couldn't borrow money from local banks today, and they don't want to go to the ADB bank and all that thing. We know that. So, two parties can account for the money that they spend right now.
And it's taxpayers' money. And then we ain't get to the part of procurement yet, where a prime minister could go in a shipyard, 2 shipyards in Rang. I want that. How much for that? Well, that's so come up to about 800 million TT. Sorry, give me one of that.
Like a child went in a toy store.
Yeah, I like that socks. Give me that pair of socks. And Rang.
I like that army toy, that boat there. Yes. I want that for Christmas.
So he did that, and the hostile vessels have an issue with the hull. And we have had a number of problems. All those vessels, Coast Guard, they're laid up. The MV sued at a committee led by the current Minister of Finance, who acts as Prime Minister, Mr. Colm Imbert. He bought the MV suit, never sailed a day in his life. And there are other sort of vessels that we bought. And those things just laid up, and the country just from successive administration, and 1 in 3 Trinidadians and Tobagonians living under the poverty line. That means they can't put food on the table and can't take nobody is held accountable on these things. And then we go into another election cycle. We pave some roads.
Cut a few ribbons.
Yeah, and we go on back as usual. This is what, 60, how many years after political independence and so many years after Dr. Williams came on the scene with the People's Charter and all of that. Where are we really going? And these questions are raised their head all the time. And this can't be how we become a competitive modern country. And what Mr. Manning had said about a developed nation's status in 2020 and all of that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You had a friend who used to show in the strand, but now was in power in Guyana. Johnson was the president of the United States. And all the prime ministers of the West Indies went up. Everybody had to a plane. It's beneficial to the country now.
Right.
But now wanted a White Horse. Well, Johnson was shocked. He said, look, when the table and take one. Look, they have a saddle there too. And they saddle it up. And that
I know a man named Eric Gary we already had some they have something about Bernard. No, just no. I'm looking for it in truth, you know. All right. Well, I've seen something else. I will go on.
516, continue to call us in. Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon again.
Hi.
Is his first name correct?
Say it again, please.
Is his first name correct?
What I said?
Not Gary.
Eric, but not Gary.
Yeah, Eric Gary. Oh, Eric alone. Oh, okay, good. All right. Okay, but there's another Burnham we're talking about here. But Lyndon Forbes Samson Burnham, you know, he named a part of then, born February 20th, 1923, died August 6, 1985. Oh, yes, he was something, boy. Well, look at that in truth. I now seen it. So I will try to get that. Where was I? Yes, the history of Guyana has come back up. Quotes about how the Caribbean leaders of the time, and this is a relevant point to what's happening now, where the Caribbean leaders of the era had found a reason, various excuses not to get involved or not to comment. And Dr. Williams apparently was disappointed that interest and so on. And that was the reason why eventually Cheddi Jagan was moved out of office. The Americans removed him, and he didn't get back in until the 90s, by which time I think Forbes Burnham had died. There was a softening of the administration in Guyana and so on and so forth. All right. So that's it. At 5:80, also talking about the spending, government spending, and somebody raised the matter of the candidacy of Vasan Bharat. Let's hear this. Caller, good afternoon to you.
Ken?
Yes.
Cheddi Jagan himself said, the President of the United States of America asked him to remain democratic. And he, where Burnham is concerned, Forbes Burnham, he might have been harsh and everything else. But when I look at Forbes Burnham, all he said to Guyanese people, you have enough land, plant food and feed the people. The importers in Guyana are the ones who invigorate the people. Do not plant, import rice, import dal, chana, salt meat. And the people went along with the importers. What we see in Trinidad today, our farmers want to work. The importers control the government. Importers were not controlling Burnham to become productive. What's happening today in Guyana? Today in Guyana, we realize that they have to go agriculture. They have to feed themselves. If they had done that with Forbes Burnham, they wouldn't be where they are today. When Forbes also put everything on negative list and banned certain things, what did he ban? We in Trinidad here, when the NR took over, had to take a step in the same direction. Burnham was cruel and all that. I agree that he was very oppressive. But he had to do it on listening to reason. Thank you much.
Thank you. You know, I'm looking here at a 1969 document written to the Institute of Current World Affairs. I just want to read a little bit. It says, Guyana, in its fourth year of independence, tormented and politically divided country, increasingly serious hostility between the East Indians and Afro-Guyanese population has made racism the dominant factor in domestic political developments. Race riots, rebellion, rigged election, and repression are the salient points of the ordeal of Guyana, an ordeal incidentally exacerbated by Anglo-American over the past 20 years, and so on. Good afternoon.
Mr. Ali?
Yes.
You must get the history of Guyana and read it. That fellow know what he's telling you about it. Cheddi Jagan was loved by one and all in that country. In America, I think Randy, if we regretted it, even the President Arthur Chung, remember Burnham bring this thing, we call it nationalization, and sending girls all up with the soldier. He said, and his daughter had to go. He said, my daughter can't go. He said, what do you mean? What's that little thing? That fellow don't know the history of Guyana. You can check it out, Mr. Okay. And then Guyanese couldn't even leave the country without $15.
Yeah, I remember.
$15 to leave the country with.
People fled.
Yeah, all the people flee from Guyana, the prominent people. Right? And they say, what is name, boy? God, the man, Sridhar Rampal, and all these fellas encouraged Burnham and all this nonsense, you know.
Yeah, Sridhar Rampal facilitated that.
Cheddi Jagan was forced to go to Cuba because you see all of the discovery, you know, thing? When the Russians went down to Guyana, They told you say Guyana have kerosene. America refused to do anything in Guyana. You think they don't have one? Check it out for yourself.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I'm very fascinated by the history of Guyana for all kinds of reasons. The personalities of Burnham and Jagan, the Trinidad and Tobago, and so on. And the leaders, look, I'm looking at that picture here of the leaders of 1964, Dr. Chedi Jagan, Sir Alexander Bustamante, Errol Barrow, and Dr. Eric Williams, you know. A fascinating history, really, of the Caribbean. All right, 523, continue to call us on this or any of the other issues. We probably must bring a Guyanese national, somebody who has a historic view of what's happening in Guyana and its history. I know a number of people, when we talk about Guyana, a number of people talk about, meet us or call us and so on and express great interest in what's happening in Guyana. Good.
You remember the phrase, I can't breathe?
Yes, of course.
Everybody know about that. But there was a phrase before that, choke and grab.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that came from?
No.
Guyana.
Oh.
When it was bad, like in the 90s, Jagan win again during that period.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so frightening. If you stand, because when you go to the hotels, they used to warn you that don't go there with any jewelry on the steps before you enter the hotel, because they say they will choke you and grab you. Ask any Guyanese about that. But I now thinking, have we as a country come like that now? Because they're grabbing out everything from we. You understand? Tax.
Yeah, but you know, apart from that, look at the crime situation too. That is.
One used to pick me up and carry me around Guyana. The thing is, every time I go to Guyana, because you're dealing with all these executives, and they always ask you to bring a tin of milk, soap, cornflakes, because you couldn't get it, and you had and then for example, you couldn't get potatoes, so it was yuca fries. What I call it yuca. You understand? And if you're accustomed drinking milk in the morning, you make sure you carry your own milk. That is how it thinks. People.
Yes.
Put the chicken inside the house.
And square miles.
Plenty.
Guyana
That is what
could feed itself
Guyana
many times over.
always remind me of Hoover and Felicity. My first impression, that is what I remember. I remember, and it's the last thing. And the other thing that was fascinating about it is the hot cats, because I said culture indigenous to them. So, I can't breathe is not the thing, it's choke and grab at any Guyanese.
Okay, good. Thanks. Good
afternoon. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on the air. You're on the air. Yeah.
All right. My wife just called you guys in. She's an ardent listener of your program.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm Guyanese, and she thought that I might have a bit to share, because apparently you guys are discussing.
We talk in Guyana. Yeah, we talk in Guyana. Yes.
All right. I have been living in Trinidad now 22 years. I born the year after a product of the social and economic hardships of Burnham. And I've been quite vocal on Facebook page, as to put it, with regards to the evolving situation.
We could go on Facebook and read you. It's up to you.
Yes, my name is Dorian Frederick.
Right.
All right. So I've been on Facebook posting a lot of stuff, because I've been following it from the 2nd of March right throughout. Won the election. That's my view. I'm of African. But to me, it is not a matter of race. That's my view. But in Guyana, it's a matter of race. But me, I am not seeing it from the racial angle. I'm seeing it where you have had a race. There are two contestants, smaller parties for now.
Yes.
And given that you have had a contestant, there were rules set, and one of the contestants reached to the finish line, and automatically you have got to allow the democratic will of the people to flow. With regard to whether PPP will be a good government or government, I would not be able to comment on that, because I've been living in Trinidad all these years. But I can confess on what should be the outcome of the process, given that the PPP would have won the elections. I would have met Mr. Granger 25 years ago. I was his go-to 27 years ago. experimenting with Guyana's first, and we would have met up along the way so that I can handle the distribution of the Guyana Review. And for an entire year, I interacted with a little shock because my interaction with him was where I, at the time, thought he was cold. He was more about himself. But I don't think any of that is relevant to the issue, because the issue is there was an election.
All right, and the PPP Civic is given office. There would be social peace in Guyana.
I think from what I have been observed, silent change occurring in the party, the way the party, the officials dress, the way they try to relate to the public, and often speaks to something powerful that is at work. So I think, in my honest view, from this distance, making those little observations, that I think that the PPP may allow for some exhaling. What would have occurred over the last 3 months, we are just a few days away from. Because how do you sit in parliament with guys who you know would have sought to rig this election at all costs? How do you work with them? How do you keep people like that in office, like GCOM? How would you keep the workers in GCOM? I mean, how do you do that? In my view, you have to put a segment of the Guyanese population now see that as vengeance. But as I said about 2 days ago to my wife, that I think that would be a good vengeance, because you can't govern with people who are seeking to subvert the will, the democratic will of the nation. So there would have to be some purging also in the ministries, and I think that would create some unsettling during the first 5 years. But I think if they get back another 5 years to labor through it, I think eventually maybe something can.
Well, we hope that, as you're talking, I'm also thinking about the number of international, the major countries and the Commonwealth Secretariat, the OAS, EU, and so on.
Well, I have been following those, yes. Yes,
and they are bringing pressure on the authorities in Guyana. So we hope there would soon be a peaceful change in Guyana.
I am honestly telling you, I'm not that optimistic as how you are.
You're not?
No, I think that the current administration, that is not really the administration, that is predominantly black, I think it's a lot of hate, it's vulgar, it's vile. At times I feel ashamed even being Guyanese. And I don't know. I don't even think if CCJ rules in favor of PPP, and I can't see how CCJ will not accept jurisdiction over this. I think they do have jurisdiction, and I can't see 7 judges, at least for me to see that, accepting that those judges are impartial, will be objective, and what have you. But I still think it's not going to be settled there, because these guys aren't going to give up power. So I'd rather be pleasantly surprised that when CCJ gives its ruling will be in favor of PPP, that they will fit. But I optimism. I think it's going to get worse than this.
I hope not, but I can't disagree with your analysis too, especially in the light of the history of Guyanese politics. But we'd continue to monitor it. We're trying to research your
Dorian.
All right, Dorian Gray. You remember Dorian Gray?
Well, I got the name from Dorian Gray, actually.
Yes.
It was a movie at the time, I think in the 1960s.
Yeah, a man who never grew old. I'm going to see you here now on Facebook.
And the surname is Frederick.
All right, I've already put.
I just put up a post there because I've got relatives in Guyana who have been observing what my post, and they have been called to defend freedom of speech. And I posted 2 videos there about the right to speak, and sometimes when you speak, you offend some people it's inevitable.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know.
But you're very balanced. You brought a great value to the discussion. I hope
Well, I think that is has to be.
it has to be, and we must.
I have a lot of
respect
Trini friends because I have my own business, and sometimes Trini's like to act up between this black and Indian thing, and I would always tell them to dismiss it because you don't really have an issue. You're trying this. You've got to come to Guyana to understand. I'm living in Trinidad because I've grown weary and tired of the situation in Guyana. Not particularly the economics, but where you're expected if you're black to think a particular way, to act a particular way. Check it out. You'll see my comments.
we're seeing that. And I want to, there was some thought I wanted to leave you. Oh, I was going to say that Walter Rodney said 40 years ago before Burnham killed him.
He was killed.
So,
yes, I know that.
yeah.
I know that. Okay, then. You have a blessed afternoon.
And thank you for your call, sir.
I'll talk with you guys again another time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so his name is Dorian Gray. No, Dorian Frederick. But it's really...
You have questioned over the man.
Yeah,
Dorian Frederick.
Yeah, Dorian Frederick. Mr. Frederick, thank you again for your call. We have a few minutes. We go to the top of the hour today, so we have more time to talk with you. Good afternoon.
Ken, I'm not trying to downplay Guyanese people suffering. I was working at a company that had an office in Ghana in the 80s. I went there. Garlic, give me 2 crores. I took 2 head of garlic for the girl. And when she got it, she behaved like she had committed a capital crime.
Oh, sure.
But the point I'm making, Jim Jones had a very successful colony, plant his own food. So what is the problem? That's the only point I'm making. I'm not saying Guyana that Burnham was a good man. Burnham was oppressive, yes. But the people brought up themselves too. He said plant food, the bread basket of the Caribbean. We're not planting nothing. He started ban everything.
Yeah, on another matter, by the way, we continue to take your calls until just before 6. 636-7547-227-5739. On another matter, Dr. Rudal Munilal has filed a motion of no confidence in the Speaker Friday, which is the latest twist in this oil shipment issue with Paria Fuel Trading of the shipment to Aruba, right? So there's a new development. Friday is Private Members' Day. The sitting begins at 1:30 p.m. So I imagine Speaker Bridget Anissa George will not sit. She can't be a judge in her own cause. So the Speaker Esmond Ford will have to take a little time away from his campaigning and preside over this matter. Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Ali, I know you're wrapping up now.
No, we have some time. We have time.
Look,
go ahead.
All the trouble started with Jiggle in America because he married a girl called like Ingrid Bergman, John Garfield, and these people. America was paranoid with Russia, These movie stars were accused of being Russian spies. America accused Ingrid Bergman and all of them.
Yeah.
So you can look it up, you're going to see they got some paranoia about Russia. Up to today, they still...
Yes.
Right, so I just give you a little insight how the thing started. And just for the record, Forbes Burnham was one of the most brilliant lawyers the Caribbean ever produced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before he went on this rampage. Yeah, Burnham was one of the best. He was forward as possible to do all these things, man. Burnham was a brilliant fellow. Yeah, I'm talking for about talk fit.
Thank you. Yes, well, Janet Jagan, she born October 20th, 1920, died March 20th, 2000, and from December 1997 to August 11, 1999. In fact, I think those who recall the history of the time remember that the CARICOM community CARICOM had advised her to call you.
Mr. Ken Ali.
Yes.
And to Anne, I spent 5 years in Guyana. And the people use race. The Indian will use an Indian and then dash him aside. But the people, the born Guyanese, Indians and Africans, will use right. And when a problem comes, they curse out one another, but they come back friends. You know, the foreigners from the Caribbean island went down there and caused the trouble. It is not the real Guyanese. When I sit down there, a lady gave me $10,000 in trust, which was an African lady named Miss Baker. An Indian didn't do it for me. And she treated me like a mother. And this is why take stock out of Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't have no problem. You think the Indians are joining with the Africans with Ranger? They who holding on that how they want it, but the small man down there just unite with one another. Have a blessed one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost you. 636-7547-227-5739. We're going until just before 6 p.m. And Duki, yours truly, Ken Ali. We also on YouTube.
RCL U975.
Yes. And we also, Surath Prasad is here tomorrow. And he has a lineup of a number of guests on a number of issues. So you want to catch that. And then I plan to be here on Sunday morning. And we continue to talk the politics and the national and the regional matters. So
on 10 to 1.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ken and Ann.
Good afternoon.
When I was 18, that was back in 1983, I spent a week in Guyana because I asked her if I could go. Well, I asked my mother if I could go. She said yes. And from the time we landed, at the time it was Tim Mary International Airport. It was an airport in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
And when we reached there, we carried the guy I went with, the guy and his girl husband. She went ahead about a week before. So he and I traveled together on the DC-9. It took us 55 minutes from here to Timiri Airport. And when we landed in the airport, with custom officers and them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had to give them corned beef, sardine, flour, and all kind of things. We carry a lot of groceries there. Right? We had to pay, he paid extra. And when we came out the airport, there was a set of little African boys. But I got frightened when I see the charge at us. They said, sir, please, we don't want money. Just give us some corned beef or flour or anything. Right? They said, big carrier luggage. We did give them a little thing and a thing. I said, wait. And then the guy carries I stayed in East Coast Monrepo Pass there. And next up is called Good Hope. And
there's Essequibo?
No, nah.
Okay, all right.
We did pass a big river. I can't remember if it was the Essequibo or Bobbies or what. I remember there was this huge river, and bartending used to go up the river. I mean, Carani River is a canal, eh?
It is, yes.
When we reached, all the houses were wooden houses. And when we house, there was a big block of wood behind the door, like those old Chinese shops. And these people, they had cutlass, they had wood, they had iron, bottle, all kind of. I said, what that's for? They said, well, that when thief man come, they had to kill him. And the whole village, right, they had a system. If one house under attack, everybody will know.
Mm-hmm.
That bell and all kind of thing. Yeah, that's how they used to be attacked by the blacks, right? And that's the first place in my life I saw Asian elephant in the zoo. I didn't go to the zoo in Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a supermarket. These people had nothing to eat, right? I went to a pharmacy. They had nothing, almost nothing. A lady showed me she's going blind, cataracts in her eye. I said, you could get medicine in Trinidad for that. He said, well, she's going blind and she don't have money to come to Trinidad. But that was a nasty fella. He suffered the people. Certain basic things, right? Come in the country. The first place I drank cane juice. And the place was run down. Terrible. But I'm suffer these people. And when the Indians, a lot of the Indians leave, and they were the doctors, the lawyers, the magistrates, the engineers, the business people, right? They a lot of them went to America, Venezuela. They used to go next door to Suriname, and they used to find themselves in Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think Suriname was a Dutch colony, Holland, something like that. Well, the bottom line is they really suffered. They really suffered.
They did.
Yeah, and but that was a very nasty, wicked man. And I care what Mr. Dorian, Frederick, or whoever they say.
No, he wasn't defending. No. He wasn't doing that at all. He was just giving us a historic overview. In fact, I thought he was extremely balanced in his thoughts. So he was not defending him at all.
Dagan and Barajak, they were who bring back up the country, right? I mean, there's still a lot of Guyanese living in Trinidad, right? I was
They
telling
fled.
you,
A lot of Guyanese
I was
fled.
telling you, I think a couple of days ago, if you go to the used to be, and personally, I think if Granger remain there, and with that oil money, they're gonna do like what Eric Williams and them do, and after oil boom, you're gonna have an oil bust. Efren Ali or Barajak or whoever, come in there and save that. The poor Guyanese and them, white crap will smoke the pipe. All right, Ken, Chan.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're heading up to the 5 o'clock hour. I just want to repeat as we take this call that Dr. Munilal has brought a motion of no confidence against the Speaker, and it is due to to be debated in the House tomorrow. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
And how are you all?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Very interesting program, and I can't even get in.
Oh.
I had my phone charging because we had no current most of them. And what about this guy with on TV? It is David Paras. Remember the weatherman? Do you have any connection with him?
No, but we have a Parasram in the room. I don't know if
That's why
they're
I'm
related.
asking.
He says they're not related. Yeah.
Many people confuse that fact.
Is there any way you could find out what's
I
happening?
could try to find out. He retired from the weather place
Yes,
now.
I know, but I want to know if he's still alive, if he's in Trinidad or Canada.
Okay, I could try to research. I could try and tell you.
This NIS program, I ain't
He was in the U.S., we have been told.
in the U.S.
He was in the U.S., yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are lining that up for next week.
Next week.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a major topic, and we're not even calling in to talk about. And so many thousands of
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah, listen, this...
Well, they will have to call in when the guest is here.
That's why they have meeting tonight with the UNC.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, this is David Parasram, but the man is a salesman with an insurance company here. Assuming we're talking about the same guy, right? Yeah. All right, but this is what it's saying here. He went in the sales.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, man, and Rohan Kanhai.
And one of Rohan Kanhai is old. He's in his 80s. He settled in England. Did Joe Solomon die? I think it's Basil Butcher who died recently.
Basil Butcher died, yeah.
Basil Butcher died. Joe Solomon, I don't know. I could check.
Yeah.
And you're asking a real good question.
Yeah, man, there must people I talk with the names on the radio early in the morning when you're in England.
Yeah.
Late night in Australia and thing, you know.
And Basil Butcher too, he was a batsman.
Yeah, Basil Butcher. So it seems as though Kanhai and
Rohan Kanhai lives in England.
England, yeah.
Yes.
But I don't see him. You know, you see past cricketers and
Yes.
and all. You don't hear about him, nothing.
It'd be interesting to what he's doing. Yes, you're right. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Joe Solomon. And for those who don't know that, we're talking about cricketers. They played cricket for the West Indies in the 60s. Joe Solomon from Guyana, Basil Butcher, Rohan Kanhai, and who were there again from Lance Gibbs also played cricket for the West Indies. And I will tell you something here about Joe. Still alive. Joe Solomon is 89 years old now, born August 26, 1930 at Port Mora in Guyana. He's still alive at age 89. Where he's living, I couldn't be sure. Good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm on the radio.
Yes, you're on live.
I heard some of your discussions about Guyana.
Yes.
I just want to set some records straight.
Mm-hmm.
Janet Jagan was born in America
Mm-hmm.
to a Jewish family.
A Jewish, right.
Yeah, so a Jewish woman. And Dr. Jagan met her there when he was going to school.
Mm-hmm.
The next question I heard is that the donkey carts in Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 2 days, long ago, because it was impossible for Guyanese to buy trucks and tractors in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And coincidentally, they are still in business, not as much, but just a few. The election in Guyana is a very bold-faced and a very grab for power situation we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we expect a very amicable resolution to that via the CARICOM. And we do not expect any violence. We do not expect any more deaths. We already had one death. And we would like to see an amicable resolution to this situation.
We all do. We all absolutely do. Yes. Okay.
The next thing,
quickly.
we are talking about the oil wealth that will go to Guyana. And I know Mr. Dupu will raise some. I want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to know that the politicians in Guyana, from both sides, are dirt poor. And
you need to wrap it up. We come into the 6 o'clock hour.
They don't have a parrot and a stick. And when they get into power, they grab for everything, land, money, or anything, because Guyana is a country do not have any guidelines to trade.
Okay.
They don't have so if you heard a story that all the Guyanese and all the ministers make a lot of deal on Sheriff Street and in all the rum shops, that's a common practice in Guyana.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir. We must pick up that discussion after. Let's make the okay. Rohan Kanhai, still alive, age 84, born December 26, 1935. His last test was April 5th, 1974. He played, considered one of the best batsmen of the 1960s for sure, and certainly one of the most attractive. I saw him play test toward the end of his career, and he was almost totally grey. And he was the captain there, and I think he captained the team for a few matches. Good afternoon.
Mr. Kanhalian,
yes.
Don't vex me. We came back, boy, in the evening, 4 o'clock Monday evening. Mukesh.
Oh, yeah. Mukesh should be at 6 o'clock Monday.
She's glad she getting back her boy.
Oh, yeah. Man, I could see
no, we have X with you.
I know, we happy for that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm more happy for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Sally.
Sir, quickly.
Last time I heard it was last year sometime in a discussion between Ian Chappell and Bill Laurie and these fellas.
That must have been a good discussion.
Yeah, when Chappell said the best batsman he ever saw was Gary Sobers. And he went to 138 here.
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman from British Guyana who just turned, I forget how old he was, who was not very far behind Sobers.
Yeah.
So in fact, the man tell you the best two batsmen ever seen Sobers and Kanhai.
Kanhai was something, yes. Thank
and
you.
that was from Ian Chappell, I'm master too, you know that?
Yes, great, yes. Kanhai. If you saw Kanhai bat, you really were gifted to see people like Kanhai and Sobers and so on. But we got to go. We could keep talking all evening. We have a lot of talk to talk. In fact, from Monday, Mukesh will pick up the talk at 6 and he would go straight to 9. But we thank you very much. Anne and I and our colleague Shiva, who put us on the YouTube channel. The 6 o'clock newscast is next. And after that, great entertainment through the evening tomorrow. Thank you very much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. Stand by for the 6 p.m. newscast and have yourselves a wonderful evening.
A&S Hardware and General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki 02180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour City Industrial Estate, Intrin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables. Not forgetting their bed and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk this Monday, 28th June from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make
Brewed by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is news to 6 p.m. on U97.5, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Aruna Bansi. Good evening. Police offers reward in the murder of Little Anya. Concerns over $10 million spending on Tobago into Tobago murder. A sixth plant at Point Lisas has been closed. The police service today announced a $25,000 reward for anyone who could provide information that could lead to the identity of the murderer of 2-year-old Anya MacLeod. Little Anya and her father, 39-year-old Stephen MacLeod, were shot and killed at Achong Trace, Tunapuna last week. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith also made the announcement of the reward at a media conference. Mr. Griffith once more criticized the lack of national outcry over the murder of the announcement by Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis that $10 million is to be spent on renovations at Manta Lodge Hotel is raising eyebrows. There is no history of the hotel welcoming guests. Mr. Dennis admitted that the THA has had a history of buying properties without feasibility studies. 24 high-end rooms would be added to the facility by the end of the year. He revealed that the project manager would be Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. He said there are promising options to manage the hotel. The side was bought in November 2015 at a cost of $8 million. The hotel has not yet been put into use. Another hotel bought by the THA, Sanctuary Resort, bought for $24 million, not been utilized. Tobago Police today confirmed that investigations are proceeding into the murder of businessman whose body was found in a makeshift grave and covered with concrete. A senior police officer said investigations are at a sensitive stage. 64-year-old Kunj Bihari Jaishree of Karanaj has been reported missing. Acting on information found the 8-feet-deep grave. Relatives have described the crime as a mafia-style killing. Police are continuing to probe the murder of 2 men at Enterprise Shogunas. The killings took place yesterday following what has been termed as a drug deal gone sour. During the melee, 2 men were kidnapped and thrown into a vehicle. 2 men who escaped being kidnapped notified the police. The kidnappers called and made demands following which several police branches led a massive operation. The police went to the reported drop-off zone for the ransom. When the alleged kidnappers arrived, there was a confrontation during which gunshots were fired. 2 men were hit. They were taken to the Shogunas District Health Facility where they were pronounced dead on arrival. The kidnapped victims suffered chop wounds and were warded in stable condition at the hospital. Central Trinidad is on bail after being arrested for armed robbery. Kydon Patrick of Balmain Couva pleaded not guilty and was granted trial hearing before Magistrate Christine Charles. Patrick, whose father is a pastor at a church at Karapichaima, was arrested after allegedly robbing a garden store at Couva of $1,000. He is due to reappear in court on July 21st. More plant shutdowns are taking place in Industrial Estate. The closure of ammonia producer Nutrien is the 6th petrochemical plant to be closed within the last 6 months. The company is now blaming low demand, weak international prices, and the cost of natural gas. Company officials say that they would reconsider the move over the next decision. Saharan dust levels have decreased slightly, weather forecasters have said, but the Met Office is advising sensitive and affected people to still be. Weather experts say the current decrease is due to higher moisture content. In news regionally, the 2 leading People's Progressive Party officials in Guyana today wrote to the chair of Guyana's Election Commission. Dr. Irfan Ali and Barak Jagdeo wrote Claudette Singh asking that she directs Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield to withdraw his report. Mr. Lowenfield has issued a report in which he saw 115,078 votes in the March 2nd election. The report would hand electoral victory to the incumbent APNU-AFC regime of David Granger. Meanwhile, concern over delay in finalizing the Guyana's election results is now being expressed by the Commonwealth Secretary General, Patricia Scotland. Ms. Scotland said the figures presented by Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, being different from those of the recount, would be contrary to the fundamental principles which are treasured by the Commonwealth family. She called on all responsible parties to consider the consequences to Guyana's reputed country if such an approach was allowed to stand. The results of the March 2nd general election have been bogged down by a number of legal red tape, and a winner has not yet been announced. Internationally, the three most densely populated states in the United States are seeing surges in the number of COVID-19 cases. Florida, Texas, and California, 5,000 cases each day. Rather, that should be cases a day. California yesterday reported more than 7,000 new cases. Medical officials are urging residents to practice all relevant hygiene measures, has killed almost 122,000 and infected almost 2.4 million worldwide. This was the news to Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. I am Aruna Bansi. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.
That was Major News to the Hour. Broadstall Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Something for everyone. 975
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.